This is from Amanda. My husband and I would like to have a couple costume for Halloween. Who should we dress up as? I think Hitler and Ava Braun. You will, you'll never be without a conversation the whole night.
I hope they have a German Shepherd. That would really complete it.
That's a great idea.
That'd be great.
Rent one. I'm sure you can rent one as a service animal. This is from Mary Laffey. I do not understand why people wait until October 31st every year to rent a Halloween costume. I worked at a costume rental store last year as a seamstress, and included in the rental price is free alterations to the costumer. Fuck! Whole families show up at 3 p.m. on Halloween wanting to find the perfect rock star, zombie, superhero, or fairy tale character and don't have enough brains together to figure out that they don't have much to pick from, and all they can pick out are costumes that are too big, too long, ripped, or have a stain, and our overworked laundry people missed after the last moron spilled a bottle of face paint on it. And they want to take everything with them by 4:30 so they can make it to the goddamn Halloween parade. What is the problem with these people? Did they just found out that this week that there's something called Halloween? On the same date every year in every town in the fucking Western world. And on top of that, the hardworking staff who've been busting their butts to fulfill the orders get no rest, because when these inconsiderate assholes return the costumes, they expect to be able to reserve a Santa costume which hasn't been put out on the floor yet. Trick or fucking treat. Evan and Jeff Varda, these are back to back. We live in Evanston, and the social justice mob wants schools to stop celebrating Halloween. The main argument is equality. Some kids can't afford costumes. And then the elementary schools in Evanston have canceled Halloween. So, Evan, you're behind. No more Halloween at school, no costumes, no nuts, no fun. That's insane. No, that really is. You can't fucking, and then meanwhile in Evanston, adults are gonna be wandering around fucking dressed up in Halloween costumes? So you basically took that children's holiday and said, fuck you, you little pieces of shit? That's really beyond belief. Because some people couldn't afford costumes, then tell everybody, instead of cutting it out, tell everybody they have to make a costume. That's what you do. That they can't buy a fucking costume. How simple is that? I never got to wear a costume, okay? I didn't get to wear a costume. Why? Because I had to go out for UNICEF. Why? Why? Because my mother was like a fucking taskmaster. Yeah, kids are starving, you little piece of shit. Get out there. What do you mean you want candy? Fuck you. Here's a jar. No, you're not wearing a costume. Put a tie on. This is from Sam Miller. Could someone please tell me what the hell happened to Halloween? Oops, I mean Fall Festival. Why are we robbing children of the same fun most of us grew up with? Trick or treat has been replaced with trunk or treat. What the fuck is that? Instead of parents taking their little monsters around the neighborhood to get a sugar fix, now they go to local church parking lots to get candy. Why? Our communities are closing themselves off as it is, and now we are eliminating one of the few times in the year where people can visit old friends and new neighbors in their area. You jack-offs are trading in community for a false sense of security. There are no documented cases of people putting razor blades in apples or poisoning candy. That's a bullshit myth. Speaking of bullshit, we now have storybook parades with approved characters. Are you shitting me? I remember my 5th grade Halloween parade when I dressed up as Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. I had the jumpsuit, hockey mask, and bloody toy knife to complete the whole look. Nobody said a damn thing either. Quit fucking around and let these kids have some fun before reality robs them of their innocence. Here is my suggestion to you parents. Take your lazy ass out for a walk around the block with your child, who's dressed as whatever the fuck they want to be, and say hello to some people in your neighborhood. Otherwise, I'll have to eat all of this full-size candy by myself again this year. And that makes me sad. This is from Dawn. Do non-vaccinators vaccinate their pets for rabies and parasites and shit? I don't think you heard that. Do non-vaccinators vaccinate their pets for rabies and parasites and shit? I bet they, oh, of course they do. Of course they fucking do, because they care more about their fucking pets. You know, and then they buy costumes for them. The kids are staying at home during Halloween, but the dogs are out fucking trick-or-treating. Louis, I was in Walmart at the beginning of the month, and they were already putting Christmas shit out. Holy fuck, it's not even Halloween yet. Put that shit up until after Thanksgiving. Well, they're not. They're not. It starts earlier and earlier every year. We're Cracker Barrel connoisseurs. Those of us who are on the tour bus with me, if there's a Cracker Barrel, we begin to weep and cry out, oh, fuck, can we stop at the Cracker Barrel? Yes, we must stop at the Cracker Barrel. The only place that you can actually order what is the essence of a breakfast buffet. We will bring you every possible fucking breakfast meat on a plate. You won't have to get up. You won't have to get up. And so in the Cracker Barrel, fucking in August, they were already fucking shoveling that Christmas shit onto the shelves. Nobody, why not? If we got a fucking election that goes on for a year, Christmas fucking should go for a year. Everything should go for a year. It's been Halloween since July 4th. Once again, we are mere days away from Halloween. The one day each year we willingly shove our toddlers up to houses to receive candy after 364 days of preaching them to never take candy from strangers. Why does this continue to be a thing anymore? Is it so candy companies can create even smaller wrappers with solid bits of so-called food that will eventually end up in landfills or oceans? Maybe I'm tainted still by my own Halloween experiences as a child. Trick-or-treating in a rural setting where I received a mushy apple, an unsharpened pencil, a bag of potato chips left over from the year before, and a handful of chewing tobacco from my 4 neighbors that live 5 miles or less away doesn't lead to the fondest of memories. Parading up and down the aisles of senior classrooms as a junior student isn't so I can be mocked because my plastic Spider-Man mask kept falling down, blinding me so I ran into desks or garbage can. I couldn't see the fingers being pointed at me in ridicule, but I could still hear the laughter. I understand the cuteness of seeing little princesses and action hero characters saying trick or treat at the door, but I'm tired of teenage fuckers carrying a pillowcase full of 200 pounds of shit by speeding through an entire town of 5,000 people in an hour with the only costume they're wearing being the smug look of greed and impending diabetes before wolfing down 12 chocolate bars and 8 bags of chip with a Red Bull chaser. Is it not time to get rid of this entirely? Or maybe just do it once every 4 years in November on election night when the real tricks take place and we're treated to 4 more years of broken promises and lies by our out-of-line politicians and administrators? Thank you so much for coming out tonight. It's been a pleasure spending time with you. Thank you.